Actually, I found some kind of old microphone in a bag, and I was thinking of using it because like the webcam was just not good. Let me try this. Let me try and put this headphone on. Oh, actually, hold on one second. Okay, I just turned up the volume on the microphone, so I'm wondering if this is working a little better. I hope it is. I mean, cool. Let me see if I put this headset on. How is it now? Oh, hey Jerry, how's it going? Oh yeah, so now the headphone is on the head. Hello, hello. Right on. So yeah, sorry I didn't stream for the past couple of weeks or so, but yeah, I've been working on a couple of things, and you know, also some adulting related stuff, which is sometimes fun. It's good to disconnect. But yeah, some of the stuff that I've been working on is, you know, some time ago I was talking about being able to advance the time during the game. So that I'm gonna do it kind of in um, I believe Fallout was doing it. I think they might have had some kind of time of day cycle, but to me that was a little bit too complicated, and I thought I'd better just do it beds, via beds, or maybe other. I think at the moment beds are probably like the simplest way. So if you were to go to bed, I'm not sure when you guys joined the stream, but when you go to sleep, you kind of saw it was like daylight, and then it's kind of dusk, or actually not dusk. I believe this is sunset, the sunset time of day, and then you go to sleep again, and now it's dark. So part of that was also a way to kind of turn on the lights at dark, and that was a little bit of a fun process because there's like street lights, and in order to help with the performance, I'm using light probes. So and so the light probes, what you'll notice is they kind of do this little lighting around these parts, and so that way I don't have to use kind of a point light that would take up I mean it would eat up quite a bunch of like the light complexity, so it would add to the light complexity, so this kind of light around here. Yeah, thank you. It actually works out pretty well. So and right now these guys are not doing anything because I deleted the navigation mesh, so they're just kind of hanging around. But yeah, so if you go to sleep again, it should advance it. So now I'm debating whether to use like an overcast type scene. Maybe I could kind of transition this into like a morning scene type thing. So you can just cycle through these, and so one of the things that that can allow for is a different behavior in the AI, because it's all event driven. So since it's all in this kind of BP sky, as you can see, like this is just a little bit of work that I was doing to disable the anything that's an outdoor light. So this is kind of a parent class. So everything that's an outdoor light type child of this, I've set up a simple interface, and I'm just calling it to enable or disable, whether I'm at night or during the day. And the same goes for like the light probes. They pretty much work the same way. Though with the light probes, there's the impact of light probes that I use inside for like some bounce lighting and stuff. So that's why the light probes, I have some tags. So anything that's the, any light probe that's tagged with has an outside tag on it, I'm gonna either disable it or enable it. So I mean, it's not very complicated overall, but you know. And yeah, the other thing was I had to like, and probably some of the stuff that I'm gonna do today is work on a way to connect this warehouse environment that is, you know, kind of like the mine warehouse, and the mine is gonna it's here, to connect that to the rest of the world. So I was working on this little access road. So the access road is going to continue on to, this is going to be a transition level here, and then so let me actually, I think I can turn those on to show you. Hopefully it won't crash because I have a bunch of these BP Sky meshes, or no meshes, but blueprints. So hopefully this will work okay. I'm hoping. There we go. Okay. Right. So yeah, let's see how many. Yeah, sure. Let me just take a look at this BP Sky. Oh wow, I got 3 of them in here. Jeez Louise. There we go. Right. So as I was saying, actually this is actually, I have quite a bunch of the levels turned on at the moment. So basically, when you start the game, you're gonna come from this end over here. This is where the bunker is. If I can find it, right behind the trees, right there. So kind of this is where it all starts, and you know, you can. I was kind of expecting that to happen. What a bummer. Let me restart that, and I need to hide some of the levels. Now, RJ, by landscape blend, do you mean like the landscape material, or just how they blend together? Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I've actually done a tutorial on this, so if you check out my channel, there should be a full tutorial on it. But yeah, I'll show it to you real quick. Um, I've actually done one recently that is kind of cool with runtime virtual texturing. So what I'm doing currently is I'm blending between them, or I'm not blending, but so there's an option for like pixel depth offset. So whenever you have a mesh, let me see if I have one around here. I'm not sure if this one has it applied. This little tree. Yeah, this one doesn't. But if you're familiar with the pixel depth offset, let's see, does the branch? Yeah, you'll see like this one doesn't have a hard edge around it. So that's how I've been blending so far some of this terrain. But yeah, I've done a tutorial on runtime virtual textures. So that one actually provides a really nice blending. But yeah, let me show you what the material looks like. And now again, this is not necessarily something that I recommend to everybody to do. Yeah, I use mainly Quixel textures. I mean, especially for the terrain, it's only Quixel textures. So it's and some of them are actually mixture. So what I did is I've had some like for example, you'll see that this one is kind of like a moss type surface, or kind of like with grassy stuff in it. But if I was to paint, I have one that's like with leaves, so it's got the same base, but yeah, so I guess this is kind of new to this terrain. So it's got to compile some shaders real quick. But yeah, so like oh, what the hell, the strength is kind of low. So as you can see, when I paint this, it's this one is the same, but it's got some a little bit of leaves blended into it. So that gives it, and I actually could have gone a little bit more with the leaves. And then there's another one that has rock. So, and so this one has rock embedded into it. So they're not. While I start off with the Quixel textures, in the end I have the kind of a mixture between certain Quixel textures. So hopefully that makes sense. I was just checking to see if OBS is still going. Yeah, so let me show you the master material. It's actually really simple because it's got some drawbacks as well. But so let me show you. It's got a bunch of the material functions, and each one of the material functions has they're all the same, but each one of them has inputs for like roughness, power, scalar, some displacement values, and let's see, some blending values. Oh, actually, let's see, is that it? Yeah, that's it. So, some way to control the way you the way you blend between the layers. So, the downside to this is that whenever you want to change this, you have to wait for the shaders to compile, and that was kind of something that I kind of had to balance out because I wanted to have this be pretty clean. I mean, it's not perfect, but for 6 layers, I've seen some materials that are like you have to zoom out to, you know, they take up a lot of space, and if you were to edit it, it's kind of a pain. But with those, once you create an instance, it's easier to select to change the actual textures. With mine, unfortunately, you would have to like go into each one of those material functions and change one at a time, and wait for the shaders to compile. But to me, I ended up, in my view, with something of a cleaner material here. So, and so the thing that I'm thinking of adding to this, and I was kind of preaching but not really doing what I preached. So I can show it to you real quick. Let me see if I can find that. Hopefully I have it somewhere handy. But I wanted to show you the RVT because that runtime virtual texture is actually, I mean, I really like it, though it's kind of expensive when it comes to shader cost. And though I do like the what it can do. Like it's really nice. So yeah, so there you go. We have this rock here, and as you can see, I mean, it's just going to take a little bit of time, I guess. There we go. So I guess it would just, maybe it was waiting for the runtime virtual texture to load. But yeah, so with this one, you get a much nicer blending than with the way I was doing it with like the pixel depth offset. But this one, it would sample the terrain. So as you can see, there's like this ground here, which blends into it really nicely. So if you like were to move this one like that, and you place another one that might be a little bit higher up, it kind of keeps that level, or that that height, and you can change that as well. um, you can change that, so like for example, I can go into my material, and I can change some of these values as to how far this thing goes and blends with the mesh. So that is definitely an option that I really enjoyed doing the tutorial for. Yeah, it is. The only problem with it is that if you look at the cost, they get like quite expensive. So with this turned on, I'm looking at 304 instructions, and if I was to turn it off, this one goes to like 114. So it can add quite a bit. Now, I mean, you're probably not gonna do it for every single asset, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. The results, like I said, they're really nice. I really like the results. I think I had some more of the Megascan assets that I was playing around with. Let me see, like the sandbag barrier. I'm not sure I messed up the material for it or something. Oh yeah, I was kind of messing around with these values. Yeah, so and now this one is only done as um, on the z-axis. So let me see, why isn't this one blending so well? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, there we go. I had the blend power set to 0. So there we go. It's kind of cool. So yeah, it definitely helps with the blending. You get this little dirt or whatever the surface that the mesh is on. It applies it to that. So, but I think it's definitely it definitely provides a lot to the like a natural mesh, like a kind of a cliff or something like this, because it's like you can't really tell. um, I mean, you really have to go really close up to it to tell where the two end. I mean, actually, I can't really do that. So, yeah, and the fact that it samples the terrain, like you have this muddy type of surface here, and then you have the watery surface here. So, well, while it might not be realistic, but yeah, I think it does do a really nice effect when it comes to the blending between the two. So hopefully I'll kind of consider whether I'm gonna use this in my project as well, or not. But yeah, if you check out my channel, there's gonna be a tutorial on this. I think it took about I don't know, like 15-20 minutes with me explaining as well as doing it. So shaders compiling, I usually don't really cut that stuff out of my video because I'm trying to kind of show, well, this is how long it's really gonna take you or at least about. And plus I can't say that I have the time to do edits and all that. So yeah, and if you have a small, if it's pretty small, then it's, oh, I would definitely, I mean, and like I said, I mean, like I showed you, the worst you can do is first, you're probably gonna have to do that anyways, but for some of the assets, you just turn off the blend with environment um, switch parameter, and and you're good to go. It's You know, it's really easy that way. That's what I like. But yeah, as far as you know, back to kind of working on this, like I was telling you, a lot of my textures are from, or I mean, all of my textures originally are from Megascans, but then I try to do some blending between them, so you know the transition is not that harsh. Because like you would have, um, and since this is something that I had before, and I can't say that I was very happy with. You know, one of my layers was, and you can tell if I use this one, for example, right? Now this one is pretty obvious, but this layer could also be made so that it has a little bit more, maybe some grass in it, you know. So I do make a lot of my models. I also use a lot of them from you know, various like CG Trader um, or the Unreal Marketplace. And I usually make my own models when I I can't find something that I like. Like for example, there's let's see, there's the mine environment in my game, and that one I had to make all the assets. Well, I mean the architectural assets. I made those myself because I couldn't find anything on the marketplace that would match what I wanted. So let me see if I can show you what I mean by that. Cave. Where's the mine? Mine. Also, some of the stuff that's used in the bunker, I had to make myself because I couldn't find anything that was. I'm just gonna go into this view so you can get an idea. So yeah, so this stuff, this piece, I went about and made this myself, you know, so I can tile it together uh, into a you know, kind of a mine shaft type fashion. So so for example, that's something that I made. Another thing that I made was this conveyor belt. Not sure if there's any lights in here. Yeah, but they're not too well. So you know, the conveyor belt is also something that I made myself. A lot of them, like I said, were purchased. Like these, those are going to be replaced anyways with some of the Quixel minecart stuff. Um, the train tracks also purchased. Though again, with a lot of these assets, you purchase them, but they're not really. Some of them are not very much, you know, game um, oriented, so to speak. So a lot of them I had to go in and either redo texturing or redo UVs, or for example, this one you couldn't really tile it in or put it on a spline because it was like the ends were jagged, so you know you would have gaps. And even now, if you look at it really closely, there it's not perfect because you know the asset is pretty high poly, so it was pretty tough to get it, or almost impossible to get it to be perfect. So and so like I said, you know, a lot of them are purchased assets, but I also made quite a few myself. And you know, like for example, you know, these lockers is something that I made myself because they're going to be like interactables. Um, but then again, you know, this stuff, for example, is something that's off from a pack that I purchased, same as this one. So in the end, there's a balance between them because time. That's the biggest reason. Yeah, well, Relic, thank you so much. I'm happy with it. I mean, hopefully, when people get to try it out, they're gonna be happy with it. And like I said, I'm kind of getting close to to having all the link levels linked together and such. Well, so RJ, I mean, most of those that I purchased are either on like a sale or the monthly free assets. So I think overall, um, I don't think I spent more than on assets alone. I don't think I've spent more than maybe $500, and that includes like CG Trader combined with Unreal Marketplace. So yeah, I mean, like I said, and CG Trader has this nice thing when you can like offer somebody uh, money. So maybe they're asking $20. Maybe you can do um, maybe you can do what do you want to say? Maybe you want to do $10 on that, so you can offer them less money than what they want to go for. And if they take it, they take it. If not, then totally fine. Well, and yes, then I have to do some of the level designs, and I had to adjust some of my work around the things that I was able to find. You know, so but like I said, if you pay attention to the marketplace and to whenever there is a sale, that's how I get them. I don't think I've ever paid full price for anything. Most of the times I'll just wait for a 50% off sale, and that's when I kind of, okay, I really need this at 50%. It's pretty much how it goes. Hey, Goff, then, unfortunately, I do not speak Russian, so if you can use English, that'd be great. I don't think anybody else that's on the stream right now understands Russian. I don't think so, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, well, so yeah, these levels are. I've started off with this one kind of level, and then you've seen him before the engine crashed earlier, but so I've kind of used that to duplicate it and move it around, so it's kind of making up the forest forested area. But now that there's these levels that have some human presence. Um, hey RJ, thank you. Uh, yes, the stream usually gets saved after the after the stream ends. It gets posted to my channel, and I think there's like a playlist that has live videos, so it gets posted right after it ends. Yeah, so while Reddit, that's what I do, and a lot of the stuff that I was able to use come are from the monthly free assets. And yeah, once stuff goes on sale for something that was like 25 bucks, um, for it to go down to like $12 or something. And unfortunately, the one thing that I don't understand is like I see that sometimes prices on the marketplace are higher in Europe than in the States, which I don't think it's fair. I'm not sure why that it works that way. Maybe there's like maybe they up the prices. Maybe sales taxes are bigger, so they kind of put those sales taxes um, onto the people, right? So I mean, this is just kind of a thought. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they have regional pricing, but I'm not sure where I was seeing. There was some people commenting on forums that, oh, hey, how come this cost you, $10 when it's $11 here? So I think they might. That's why I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, but like I said, some of the stuff, moving some of these levels around, and now that I have to add stuff, is I need to do some cleanup because this road goes across some of the natural terrain, and now there's like a bunch of like floating rocks and stuff. and gotta fix that. So yeah, yeah, I am Romanian originally, so of course. But since most of my schooling was done in the States, a lot of the technical terms I don't really know those in Romanian or other languages. So yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. uh, well, so I'm gonna try something in French then. Merci pour toute présence ici. Is that kind of thank you for your presence on the stream or here? I'm not sure how close that was, but yeah, it's always good to have people from like everywhere. Yeah, so in the end, a lot of it is kind of can I get around, you know, type type knowledge of other languages. And a lot of it is also amount of practice. So if I do get to practice it, is it's definitely better. But yeah, I could tell it was a little bit weird. Yeah, so that's actually the good thing about it, because Romanian is really close to French and Italian and Spanish, so I can understand a lot of kind of the spoken Italian and French and Spanish. I'm having a hard time speaking it, but you know, again, I think it comes to practice. Yeah. Yeah, remember we used to have French in high school and like middle school. So that was interesting. Along with English, and then in high school they had us take Latin one year, which was, oh my God, that was painful. I remember that. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about it, but I guess I am complaining about it a little bit. Yeah, that is something that I think everybody will remember. The one thing that I wish was that this terrain would the spline would do a little bit of a better job at sculpting the terrain. Oh, but I did something stupid. Oh man, I should not have done this. I should have just edited the spline itself and not flattened the terrain. I kind of hate that. And I think, especially when it comes to a subject like that, I think it matters a lot on the, how the teacher, you know, puts things together, because it's tough, and the level of interest is low because what are you gonna do with Latin? I mean, it might sound horrible, but um, yeah. The road is not necessarily a ramp, but I think it does go a little bit up and down over the terrain. So um, and there will be ramp parts in the next level. So pretty much the level that's tied to this, it's gonna have some ramp parts. So now it's gonna be interesting because I'm gonna try and so here is gonna be a transition level which I'm gonna be bringing in just a little bit. So that's going to be interesting to put in a bridge and actually make these, or at least try to make them seamless. So currently marketing plans, you're actually part of it. um, so a lot of, I've been trying to stream as much of this as I can. Some, I try to do Twitter and, you know, what else? Facebook. That's kind of, it's pretty limited at the time because it's limited to what I just mentioned, and first I want to have something that's actually playable and not just me kind of messing about and testing some of the gameplay features, but I want to have something that you actually get to go and interact and talk to that NPC, and you get a quest and you actually go do the quest, you return, you complete the quest, kind of thing, and not just wandering around a level, which might be nice and all, but so the other, yeah, so next step would be to also post it on the Unreal forums. They have a section where there's like projects, so they sometimes post those projects onto their launcher, which is really nice of them. But that's cool. And yeah, and I post stuff on Reddit as well. It's it's got some traction. Some of my previous posts, which I'm definitely happy that they did. So I'll definitely keep on posting there. I should. I kept on thinking this week, hey, I should post to Reddit, something that I was working on. That little screenshot that I just posted this week, and so hopefully I'll definitely and a lot of times I think developers don't post as much, because I know myself, I'm not necessarily an introvert, but I'm not a very much extrovert type person. So it's, you know, if hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna try and kind of put a bunch of these assets on the ground to just clean it up, just clean this area up where the um, well, thank you so much. And definitely, I think there's already, you know, playable stuff. It's just having this bigger area being navigable, and so that the players can actually, you know, roam around and kind of be able to go into all these levels and have um, you know, have the levels unload and loading, and you know, because that's also on my mind, you know, trying to keep it up on, you know, have the performance work out as best as I can get it. No, the road does not have collision. I think it's just a spline. I'm not sure if you can get, you can probably do it. It's just that the path is just a plane. Well, so that's kind of interesting because um, well, and you actually make a really good point. Let me well, so I tried to flatten it already as much as I could. The biggest thing to me, I would think, would be so when you look at your feet, to have them kind of planted on the, so it doesn't look like you're floating. But I think right now it seemed to be kind of okay, or you know, floating or sinking through it. So, but I've tried to flatten it as much as I could. Like right now, it seems to be somewhat okay. Yeah. Well, so the terrain itself has tessellation, and there's something interesting that I discovered with tessellation. That was from actually from somebody that was watching my tutorial, and I was trying to help them on my Discord channel. Uh, that you can, if you make the tessellation too exaggerated, you can like walk through it. And oh yeah, was that you, RJ? Did we do that together? I can't remember. Um, Maybe it was somebody else. Okay. So yeah, definitely that was something interesting, you know, that um, and again, I'm quite a beginner when it comes to Unreal and terrain materials and texturing. So it could be that it was something from you know, from my the way I've set up my tessellation material. But I've from what I could tell, you know, gathering some of the, you know, doing some research on how tessellation works, and you know, distance-based tessellation and all, uh, they're pretty much done the same way. So I would think everybody else would have similar results. And whenever you see, I think that's how you can do, you know, whenever you see some of those I'm not sure if you played Frostpunk. So Frostpunk had this thing where the people walking in the snow, and I think there's other games that do that too, where you know, the people walking in the snow, they would like leave tracks, and I believe that, I'm thinking that's probably how they do it. You know, they update the tessellation maybe or something like that. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but yeah, the snow tessellation. Cool. Yeah, I've seen some videos of that from Red Dead Redemption. That's pretty some really cool stuff. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by, and yeah, hopefully I'll try and do some more streaming. Hopefully, I think I should be able to. I um, I was doing some work around the house these past couple of weeks, and you know, kind of the streaming fell off the radar for a little bit. So, but yeah, hopefully I'll get to chat with you in some future stream. Have fun with work. Well, so I'm gonna turn my mic off, guys. If you have any questions, you know, let me know and I'll turn it back on. Hey there, you Master. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I was gonna finish off this bridge anyways and put it in the transition level and kind of just try and see how the transition works and probably be done for today. So, but yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by the stream. This is gonna be it for me for today. I guess I'm ending on the 2 hour mark, so that was good, I think. Hopefully we'll see you on the next stream. Y'all have a great start of the week, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye everybody.